lot of projects that we name. So most of the time it's what the car is going to be or what the car is going to become or the characteristics of the car. But a lot of times it's also to do with the owner. So let's take for example Project ReefGuard. It's a Hilux that we're going to put on 35's twin lock, belongs to Avigna. He's a marine scientist and yeah, got me by surprise as well. Marine scientist, and he does a lot of coral rehabilitation. So the car is going to be by the beach most of the time, and it sort of made sense, to have it named that way, and it sounds cool. So for Project Madman, the reasoning of why it's named that way, we'll get to it, but introducing the vehicle. So the vehicle is a SJ413 Jimny Wheelbase fiber top. It's stock, as in, and it's properly a proper registered one. So it's stock. It still has all its seats, which is a surprise. And it's just going over it in aesthetically. It was used as a farm truck. So the owner is Victor. He's part of the reasoning for the name. So Victor messaged me somewhere in mid-December, I must say, mid-December. And then he obviously asked if it's possible that we do work on a Jimny, and then I think he got the car somewhere at probably the end of December, and he brought it straight over. So now the car is in a place where it's full of mud. It was used in the farm, and the person who was using it, I believe they did maintain it because it starts up really well for a carburetor. Engine is G13BA, which would make it the carburetor. Enough for how the car is, hence why even when we do the bottom end build, we would be maintaining similar tire size. We will be completely changing out all the suspension, so it will raise up a bit, but even if it does raise up, the similar tire size, and every piece of rubber on that car is gone. And by I mean gone, is gone. So it's just left with the bolts and metal piece touching each other. Hence why it's going to be a body of frame restoration for this vehicle. And Victor's alright with that. More importantly, the reasoning for Madman. So he went and got it from Pahang. He got it and he drove it straight to me. The thing is, I generally tell people, like, if you not really familiar with the car, as in the condition of the vehicle, it's best to put it on a tow truck. But he's a madman. He drove it straight from Pahang all the way to my shop. Remember, there's no AC in this car, so he drove I think his brother was tailing him behind. Took him forever. But the thing is, what was so scary was the leaf spring bush. Like I told you, every single rubber piece is gone. So the leaf spring bush the leaf spring is literally riding on its bolts. But what's so dangerous about that is, if by any chance it gets caught up and it just shifts the whole axle, it could take you into the wall or into a barrier or whatever, or into another vehicle. So to me that was pretty crazy, but I think he took it really slow. The thing is, he is comfortable doing it because this is not his first four-wheel drives. Talking to him, he has already owned and still owns a couple of different four-wheel drives. So this is just one of the things that is adding to his fleet, which is going to be epic. The powertrain and everything is, like I said, was stock standard. I am inclined to leave it as is, like just build back everything to factory standards and leaving it manual, because Victor wants it to be manual as well. So the goal for the car is for it to be more of a camper vehicle, that just for the light stuff. Look, it's not going to go rock crawling anywhere or stuff like that. There's no lockers going in. It's not putting in lockers. It's not going to be ratioed. So that's why we have to run back the standard size tires. Maybe just change rims, and to keep in par with the Madman character, paint later on. Paint would be something not white. That's what he said. So not white. As I get to know him, we'll probably decide on a color later on. And for powertrain, we'll leave it on the back burner as well. I'm not sure about it. But as of now, how the car sits, there's a bit of panel damage here and there, is to be expected. And he brought it straight with all the Pahang mud, so it literally smells like fertilizer, driftwood, with a hint of rain. So I'm like, probably gonna we have to power wash everything. Thankfully, there's no carpets or anything in the car, so you can power wash in and out before we even attempt to dry ice blast. We've got to give it a power wash. But it's something that I'm really looking forward to. It would be our first long wheelbase Jimny that we are building. We've done a couple of the regular ones. This would be a really good, a really interesting build, and I want to see like what can we add to it. And people always think, It's very hard that people think that it's easier doing a smaller vehicle. To me, it's exact opposite. The most, I would say, the nightmare car that I had to work on would have been Paul's Mini and even Mark's Mini. So the car is, because of how tiny it is, you're constrained with the things that you can modify and the things that you can do and the stuff that you can add to it. You really have to think about it. So smaller cars aren't as straightforward as people think. You can say, you want to say labor's lesser, but no, generally because this is older, you still would have about the same amount of labor. And yeah, so overall, and from what I've noticed, is the Jimny generally has very thin sheet metal. So once we would only know once we blast. And the beauty about it is, Victor's cool with it. He's seen us, he's followed us long enough. He knows the process. He knows what would take place. And with that being said, he's Madman Victor. Hence why the name. So looking forward to building out this Jimny. I hope you guys stay with us as we update regarding it, and obviously all the other cars will get their updates as well. Thank you so much. Catch you guys in the next one. Thank you.